Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Panchatattva Shri Gaurita ki jai, Gaura Bhakta-vrinda ki jai, Go Premanande. All glories to the Son of the Devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Son of the Devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Son of the Devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru Shri Ram, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Amagyanandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umritamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Krishna Budare Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatari Shidane Manchakalpaturvesha Kripasindu Evacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Katanchana smriti asmin dushkaram sukharam bhavet visvrite viparitam sam chichadam yamamitam. For one who remembers Lord Gauranga, the most difficult things, impossible things become possible to perform, and one who doesn't remember Lord Gauranga, the most easy things become impossible to perform. To that Lord Gauranga we offer humble obeisances. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, welcome to our second session of second part of our Bhakti for Life course, experimental version. So just to recap, so let's try to organize ourselves that each in this session one has. Where is your middle here? Okay, this next. So that each one do something. One should recap from previous session, 5 minutes what we are doing. One should sing the kirtan, and one should say Premadvani prayers. Premadvami means Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa. So we will do maybe one unified form, which we'll use here all the time. Maybe also the same melody, so that we are used. Maybe many melodies of Raja Madhava, as Hari Bhakti said. Now so many expressions, but we'll try to hear something simple, so we can learn. And I believe we are not such an expert like Hari Bhakti. So okay.
I'm convinced.
Or we are, yes, of course. Sorry for. So, on this note, can maybe Bhakti Dom, as is already mentioned, can you recap from yesterday? So we are to orient ourselves. This Bhakti course is consisted of 5 modules. One of this module is disciple course, which we already did. And everyone has read it. So this is done. Module 4 is about practical workshops, which we did something, but something we will still do. This is involved playing instruments, cooking courses, Harinam tours, and also visits. Probably visit Hungarian farm during this period or something else. Maybe. So, and then the remaining 3 modules are 3 handbooks which we have. One is devotional practice, is module 1, which we mentioned yesterday. Second is philosophy and theology, which covers Sambandha. If not something just as this is, I don't understand. And the third is Vaishnava culture, which comes to the section of prayojana, or what is the goal of this knowledge. So first philosophy to makes a ground how things are connected is called Sambandha, right? This is the one category of knowledge. Then prayojana is what is the aim of knowledge, what is the goal, what we're trying to achieve. This is in our sense, in our language, in our our area of acting, is of course invoke or re-evoke our dormant bhakti, love of Krishna, right? Which manifests, we mentioned yesterday, in the character of the person and the behavior, how a person behaves. And there are 26 qualities of pure devotee which are our goals, which are our goal. Mentioned yesterday, they are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita at least twice, chapter 12, 20, and 16, 1 to 3. And the third section or category of knowledge is how to reach that goal. And this is devotional practice or abhideya, and this is what we are doing now. We're doing about devotional service because here in the temple we already understood something, that's why we are here. We kind of understand what is the goal, and we are now mainly doing practice, right? Abhideya, deity worship, chanting, serving the deity. All what we do in the temple is deity worship. Everything. Cleaning, reconstruction is all under the archana vidhi, or deity worship. Because we're taking care for the deities, huh? Collecting bhoga, buying that. It's all the part. We will do this in the section of deity worship. We try to do broad vision. What is the deity worship? Deity worship is not what you see there. It is only one small part. It's when we do arati, right? Offer arati to Lord. So we just go a little quickly through this. Nataka Chandika can also orient herself. She's first time here, right? So we had already this module 1, which is devotional service. It has these units, 9 units, and we already did 2, 3, and 4. And we speak about, in these first 4 units, we spoke about the importance of Sattva Guna, and which the main part is 4 executive principles, what they mean, what's the aim of that principles. So we figured out yesterday again that they help us to establish ourselves in Sattva Guna, because without Sattva Guna we cannot have stable devotional practice or proper devotional practice. We see today, tomorrow when we speak about Nama Aparada, we'll speak about where our chanting is like a pot full of water or liquid, and Nama Aparada means that we have a big hole in the pot. We are doing, but there is a huge leak out. So this is the improper or offensive chanting of the holy name. This is the one major topic, and you were also in the Pohoria, so you will also share what Maharaj said, and also. So now, yesterday we start with the activities of devotional service. So because previously that was principle of Sattva Guna, it's not even spirituality. It doesn't necessarily be part of the spiritual life or spiritual practice. It's more like raise ourselves above Rajas and Tamas, which is usually the problem in the material world. Okay, so hearing and chanting, and yesterday we have general characteristic what hearing and chanting involves. So I will ask Bhakti Domen to kindly share what you remember.
Yeah, we talked about also these activities, and then we talked about hearing and chanting, like the first of the 2 activities that we do, Shravan Kirtanam, that's called in Sanskrit, and that's how we begin devotional life, usually. We get prepared for the next, the other activities, and they involve chanting involves Nama Sankirtana and Prachar Sankirtana. I think it's called one is actually chanting, like literal meaning, and the other one is more like philosophical, like more explanation, glorification, writing and reading about Krishna, this kind of stuff. And the other one is like Harinam, Nama Sankirtana, is like chanting, bhajan, kirtan, japa, and Harinam. It's the 4 ones. Then we also mentioned in what attitude we should do these activities. Both the hearer and the speaker must be qualified, so the knowledge can be passed correct in the proper attitude. And the qualities of the speaker, we mentioned that let's not look at this.
You can help. No.
I mean, it's better if I try not to. The qualities of the speaker are he must be qualified, he must be in the cyclic succession, he must be regulated his mind and senses, he must have those under the control. And he must be able to relieve the hearer from the pangs of material suffering. And the qualifications of the hearer are that he must be enthusiastic about hearing the knowledge, he must be submissive, and he must listen attentively, or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Okay. How our heart is purified? What's the principle that our heart is purified from material desires? We discussed yesterday, right? What is that thing which removes our anarthas from the heart? Abhadrani is called in Sanskrit. What is the mechanism? Remember? There is shloka. We mentioned shloka in the Bhagavatam. Can we clean our heart? This is Alternative question, can we clean our heart?
No.
By ourselves, no.
Okay, that's correct answer. How our heart can be cleansed, purified?
Serving devotees and Lord,
Okay,
if you please Him.
okay. Connected with hearing and chanting. That's shloka 1-17, which yesterday we discussed. Shrinvatam svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha. Dante Brotherani, we do not suprit sabdam. It's this shloka answer this question. For one who is eager to hear about the Lord, Krishna in the heart, Ridanta so, Ridda means heart, so, which is situated in the heart, removes abhadrani, all unwanted things in the heart, for devotees who are eager to hear about Krishna. So this is very important. Eagerness to hear about Krishna Katha is the method. Right? This is the method which when Krishna is pleased, when Krishna sees someone, oh, this devotee is so eager to hear about me. Krishna removes. Okay, I will throw away all his attachments, old habits, and all unwanted things. But now question arises, how to get this eagerness? It's not artificial, right? You cannot just, I'm eager to hear and eager to read, and then, your mind is somewhere else. Where this eagerness for hearing comes from?
From the other devotees.
Yes, in which way?
By hearing.
How we get taste for the hearing and glorifying the Lord? We discussed yesterday. What is important element? The most important is
Serving attitude. Serving attitude.
Serving attitude, exactly. Shru Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi means that if we have serving attitude, if we're serving devotees who are following the Guru Parampara, right? We're trying to follow Guru Parampara, who are trying to please the Lord, please the Guru Parampara. From that serving attitude comes eagerness to hear. So if one is not eager to hear, that means his attitude of serving is not there. It's not proper. That's mechanism. That's why we have to discuss why serving is so important, right? We have this formula of pure devotional service. No, 3 elements must be there that we fall in that category, right? Must be for the pleasure of who? Krishna or his devotees, right? What must be the intention, motive? What is the motive?
To please Krishna.
To please. So pleasing element must be there. If someone, and devotees, of course, when the devotee asks you, I want to, please can you do this service? Or you do, even if you do, I will do. But you think, it's not pleasing. Right? Intention must be that you, anakulina means you want to please the person, the Lord or his representative. Then this process works. And the third element is what?
In the way they like.
And the way how they want to be pleased. No, I will please him in my way. No, ask. That's why the seeking the blessing is so important. That how I want to please him, that eagerness. How this person can be pleased. Then we will get result immediately. But if you have like a rebellious or that's why if the mood in community is like criticizing, it's absolutely not possible to experience Krishna consciousness. It's impossible. Because the element of pleasing must be there, not what to say, criticizing or offending. It's just opposite. It's opposite. And what the beauty of Bhakti Yoga is that even the person which comes first time in the temple or amidst devotees, he has this attitude, immediately can experience pure devotional service. That's the beauty. Not that you have to be purified. No, immediately when you fall in this category that you even unknowingly want to please, of course you know that this is the Lord and the devotees is even better. But that's why even the newcomer can immediately experience Krishna consciousness. Make sense? So pleasing the devotees, pleasing for our level, pleasing Krishna means pleasing devotees who are in that mood also, who want to please. So this creates like atmosphere which is so charged with spiritual power, right? And where everyone will want to hear, otherwise you're not eager to hear. It's a burden. Oh, I have to go to the class. I have to hear about Krishna. It's so strange. It doesn't, because the mood or understanding how to please, intention must be, motive must be to please. That's the key. It's not automatical. It's not like robotic. I will do something. Even you chant, and that all the activities must be with that intention. Or when we put devotee, this has spontaneous, right? But we don't have the spontaneous level, so we have to work on it. We have to help each other. Is this? I repeat this in every class in Bhakti Shola. That's why the gratitude is so powerful attitude, because it creates the proper mood for right? Teacher, if you're not grateful, I'm grateful, right? Gratitude is a symptom of humility. Well, that means that I got something which I don't deserve, right? So then you reciprocate. How can I repay, right? This is the mood of the person who is grateful. I don't deserve means humility. Then you are motivated to do with gratitude, with proper mood, to please, right? Not when you're grateful, you don't do whatever. You want to please because this is your intention, because you're grateful. Is that fundamental, and we can be grateful for so many things which we got. In this dimension, we are grateful. One of the possible background why we're grateful is that we understand that we are not qualified yogis. We don't deserve this. Born in Kali Yuga means we are Aushu Sroba, means we are not yogis who did austerities for billions of years, in the Himalaya. We did all study of the Vedas. We did follow all the rules of the Vedas. We're not. We came to Kali Yuga because we didn't succeed. So we are driven by our selfish desires and lower modes. That's why we are here. And we got the opportunity, by the mercy of the Lord and His devotees, we got something what we don't deserve. So that, awareness that we are like that should be grateful every day. Got something, but first we have to understand what you got. Once in the day of Brahma, this process is revealed to the highest level, right? Krishna comes once per day, once in 8,640,000,000 years, comes to this planet, and after him he comes again as Lord Chaitanya. And we are just 500 years from that event. And Srila Prabhupada is his empowered representative who spreads the Lord Chaitanya's message to the West. And we are the first generation, second generation after Prabhupada. I mean, this is, you have like a gambling situation, this is, you're a jackpot. So that awareness and contemplation that yesterday we mentioned, you will say 4 levels of education. We will also repeat this. So we have to contemplate. This is called sadhana sadhana mahima, or today we will speak about the glories of the holy name. It's called, mahima means glorification. Nama mahima means glorification of the holy name. So this mahima, glorification, is the prayojana element, means that we understand what we get. The power or the result, what we are having, is glorified. The result is glorified, right? Or the process is glorified. So with that glorification comes motivation that we act. Make sense? You're motivated from different areas of life while we do things, right? Usually we are motivated what will result be, right? In the technical or corporate situation is called vision, right? We will be the best communication company, right? That motivates that we will do hard, right? This is prayojana element of knowledge, which gives motivation, right? Then we are motivated what we are doing, right? One is cook, is motivated by cooking itself, right? I want to kill. Also, you're immediately next, or you want to, distribute books. You're immediately enlivened, right? This is second way how you're motivated, and the third is you're motivated by understanding what is your position. So in the company means, okay, my position is secretary. I had this job description. I'm motivated by that alone. By understanding the relationship with others. In our words, that we understand, okay, I'm Krishna's servant. I'm devotee, I'm aspiring devotee. The famous expression is servant over servant, right? That's the definition of our sambandha, what we are. And that, I'm not enjoyer, I'm not the controller, I'm not that, I'm not the body, like that. This is Prabhupada, establishing. I'm not this body, you're not this body, you're not American, Indian, German, right? You're Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna's eternal servant. This is how Bhagavad Gita starts, not this body. You're the soul. Dehinosminyatha dehi kaumaram yavaram jaram, right? So you're motivated from that level. And Krishna consciousness means all three together motivates us. We want to establish Krishna's prema, want to develop the qualities, this is the prayojana level. I like chanting, I like reading, I like association with all, this is activity, and to understand that we're servant. Make sense this? So that from that level, that inspiration comes and motivation to work. So to conclude this topic, so yesterday we mentioned there are 4 steps how education works, or Vedic education, but it's any education actually in principle, because everything comes from Vedic. Would you remember? So first step is what? First stage is what? What do we do? Hearing, reading, discussing. We are obtaining the information. This is connected with yesterday's topic. Yeah. And we have this quite a lot in our society, right? Reading classes, reading a lot, every day 1 hour, 2 hours maybe. So we are getting, or more hours, or something which you obtain the churning, the Vedic knowledge. But other at least two steps are very much, not emphasized or not recognized so well. Which second stage? Mananam? How can you explain what is the second stage?
It's introspection, I think, and trying to understand and meditate on what to read.
What we hear, right? What we hear, we try to. How is that relevant for me? Oh my God! It's some history 5,000 or 10 million years ago. How is it relevant for me? Our main book is Srimad Bhagavatam, which means historical events of great Vaishnavas are there and avatars. So usually, for example, Hiranyakashipu, he lived in Staletya Yuga, I think. This is like 20 million ago, or something like that. Or Ramayana is 20 million ago was Ramayana, for example, was in this planet. Now all these monkeys and all these flying, vehicles, Ravana, 10 heads. How we are now 21st century in this 28th Yuga. How is that relevant? It's a nice story, but what is relevant for me? How we can extract the principle which is applied to me? For example, famous story in the Ramayana was Jatayu. You know what I mean? Jatayu, that bird want to stop.
Yes,
This one, yeah.
Vulture.
Vulture. What is vulture? Vulture. Yeah. When Ravana kidnapped the Sita, he was the first one to attack Ravana to save the Sita, but he was killed. I mean, he was deadly. He had a big fight because he was a warrior also, but Ravana, of course, was more in power, and he
lived only to say something to Hanuman.
Yeah, he did some. He did. So his example is there to show how we should be, protective. How should we give our life for the protecting devotees or serving devotees? So these principles we can, okay, how can I do like that? It's like principle which we try to learn and discuss with devotees who already did. How you apply this principle in your life? So we try to find out, okay, and then say, okay, yeah, maybe you find the way. How can you apply? That's that second part. How I apply, and then the third is actually you apply, and doesn't work at first. Okay, I tried but didn't do quite well, so I try to. Then again you hear and try to discuss, okay, and then again. So it's like a loop. It's like a loop. And then how we apply sin, how can we recognize how we apply, how can we evaluate? How can we evaluate that we apply what we hear and contemplate? How can we recognize what is the test?
We have taste for.
Okay, one is taste, sure.
The content of the character. The content of the character.
Character. So character. So we develop qualities: humility, peacefulness, absence of anger, gratitude. All these 26 qualities, they are starting to manifest if we do this properly, right? And the most obvious is shown by our behavior. So behavior is the symptom of character, which comes from this transformation, right? We said this Vedic knowledge is not about entertainment, it's not just information, but to transform our character, right? By these 3 steps. And when we are successful, the 4th stage is we share our experience with others and help others. So this is the mechanism behind. So if we and if you are not successful, then something is in the way is not proper, or our hearing is not proper from guru, from scripture, or reading whatever, or our reflection. So questioning ourselves, how can I apply this? Is not there. Then we need coach, we need guru, our social devotees that we can try to churn how to be, and how we apply. How we apply is not there. So all these 3 must be there. So this is how transformation happens. This is in Vedic knowledge. Maybe in psychology you have a similar thing, or something like that. Some comment on this?
Comment. No comment.
No comment. So clear.
It's very dark.
Yes. Okay. Any comment? Any question? Yes.
Just follow.
So this is from the. Okay, so today, as I mentioned, we will go through the chanting part. This is quite. There are three parts of this chanting, One is the glorification, which we try to do today. Then is 10 offenses. How can we counteract them? And there is a little japa workshop which we'll do in sequence. So let's first try to go through this glorification of the holy names, which we said that is needed, or is one approach to inspire us, to motivate us to chant properly. So maybe, Dr. Chanting, you can see? Just go through a little bit. You can read. Cannot see or not cannot read?
Chanting the holy name of the Lord in the central practice of Lord Chaitanya's followers.
Can you see here better?
Oh my God! This clip.
Chanting. Is there? Others?
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya once asked Lord Chaitanya, which item is most important in the execution of devotional service. The Lord replied that the most important item was the chanting of the holy name of the Lord.
Okay, together. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama eva kevalam, kalau nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatir anyata. Translation?
In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of the deliverance in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way.
So this is famous shloka from Brihat Naradya Purana, which is many times cited. So, okay, so now are the principles of chanting the holy names. Each one can read two. Can you, can you start? Yes.
Chanting is a preparation to call out to the Lord at death. Story of Ajamila.
So chanting is that we remember Lord at the time of death. First, yeah. Second?
With tears in the eyes is the price for attaining Krishna.
So when we'll chant such a way that we'll cry all the time, that's we have to understand we're in a good way. Thank you. And Domen?
Renarapi Sunichana. One must chant with a humble state of mind for control of the mind and tongue.
So the best way to control the mind is chanting. And it's a good one. Okay, further, Nataka?
Includes process of hearing, chanting, remembering, praying, meditation, service, and sacrifice.
So in all these activities, the chanting is included. It's interesting, no? When we do service, when we do sacrifice, yagya, we chant the holy name all the time, right? Next. In this age, yeah?
In this age, all other processes must be
accompanied
by the chanting, or whatever one does in executing devotional service must be
accompanied
with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord.
Okay, a little comment on this. So whatever we do, chanting must be there. Cooking, archana, deity worship is always there. Then it has its powers. For example, in this famous story from Prabhupada, when they installed Shri Shri Radha Shyamasundar or Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan. You heard this story? So Prabhupada did in 1975, I think, and there he invited, the best brahmanas who did this special procedure, how deities are installed. Mantras and mudras and tantras and all these different, technologies. Tantras means technology in the Sanskrit, tantra, technology. So, but in the background there were devotees. There were also other sampradayas, other schools, other devotees from other traditions, I would say, Vaishnava traditions. But in the background, Prabhupada, as his god brother, Krishna Das Babaji, who was really, very powerful kirtaniya in the whole huge kirtan in the background. And then in discussion with Prabhupada, they asked in Prabhupada, "Oh, you're happy with this procedure and how this was installed was technically okay?" Because that was okay. But the main thing is the kirtan which the devotees performed in the background. That was the main thing. That's how deity was installed with that kirtan. Because this is Yuga Dharma, the most empowered process for this age. Other doesn't have so much potent. That's why we also do in the yagyas and the ceremonies, we always do the kirtan. Always we start the meeting, we start education, always must be Hare Krishna mantra. Always, whatever we do, because that's where the power for this age is hidden.
Hearing and chanting the names of God can also be Allah or Jehovah.
This is an interesting statement. So any names of God is also considered chanting. So this is one caution here. So we should not be sectarian. Right? This is a big topic, which usually as neophytes we overjump. Of course, there are gradation of the holy names. There are primary names and secondary. You heard about this? There are primary names and secondary. You heard about these differences? What is the difference?
Difference is, of course, in strength, but ones are like the ones that he got from the beginning.
Which are the primary names of the Lord?
Krishna, Vishnu.
Yes. What are these names? Can you
His
explain?
personal names.
Okay.
Quality.
You're convinced? It doesn't seem to be convinced. Huh?
No, I am convinced, but I don't know how to explain it more.
Okay. So the names which are in spiritual world and secondary names are those names which are
Here, yes.
in material world and explain the functions of the Lord here. Vishnu, for example, no? What means Vishnu in translation or the function? Maintainer. He one who maintains material world. One is creators, right? Creator is another one, which is what he does in this material world. But the primary names, they are activities in the spiritual world. Like Gopal means, what means Gopal?
One who is taking care of cows.
Cowherd boy, right? Govinda, one who takes care of the cows and the senses. Krishna, so Adipurusha, original enjoyer. So these are names which describes the eternal function of the Lord. Are primary and secondary as well. So Allah means, for example, one who is great. Is more connected with the material world experience. Like that. So in course there is gradation, how they are powerful, and the most powerful. So one name of Rama is how many names of Vishnu? 1,000. No? Rama is 1,000. Vishnu, 1,000 times. And Krishna is how many Ramas? 3 Ramas.
Where did you find that?
They are reading a lot.
Still not.
Which chapter?
Okay, next, Gunapriya.
Name, form, qualities, pastimes, taste for chanting attained by full surrender.
Okay, what this name, form, qualities, and pastime means here? Any hint? Name, form, this is Nama, Rupa,
Lila.
Guna, and Lila. You remember this? Where we heard this? Where we heard these 4 items?
The
64 qualities.
we hear it every day. Just the
Okay.
verse.
Nama, Rupa, Nana.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. One perspective of this.
Remember the Lord, no?
Yeah, the meaning of this, also one of the meanings is, these are the four items which defines the person, conscious person. So the person is defined by name, form, qualities and activities. Comparing to the matter, unconscious matter. This is one of the definitions how one is conscious. This is one perspective. Another is that in this sequence the Lord is revealed. First is revealed by name, then when we chant with such a quality, then form will manifest. What it means that we will see in the deity, we will see the Krishna consciously. It's not just now we see just a statue, right? It's there, most of us. But with the high quality chanting, we will realize, oh, this is the Lord. So we'll be like, meeting the Lord. The next is, we understand His qualities. The most beautiful, the most attractive, the most pleasing speaking, all these 64 qualities which are there. And we understand what He's doing, and we'll be part of that activity also. And this is also the form of kirtans. Nama kirtan, Rupa kirtan, Guna kirtan, and Lila kirtan. Kirtan means glorifying the Lord. You can glorify His name, right? You can glorify His form, you can glorify His qualities, or His pastimes. So when Hari Bhakti was explaining, we said this is Lila kirtan, right? How Lord Chaitanya went to the street, and he sung, he glorified that activity. Is Lila Kirtan, right? This is a perspective of this. Any comment? You understood like that? Some other perspective is there?
No. Yeah, I understood also that this first is name, then the form, and Guna and Lila is also natural.
So in all this, the chanting mass is there. Mentioned like Nama Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, and Lila Kirtan. Okay? And the taste for chanting comes attained by full surrender. Of course, full surrender. Sarvadharma Parityaja. This is Ruchi, which comes when we realize our sambandha. Means that we really understand that we are not this body. Then this taste is emphasized. Okay, any question regarding this? So this was like glorification. There is of course more there. Okay, here now is the section which we more or less understand. So there is Pancha Tattva Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is a topic from the Bhakti school also. So this why we chant? It is recommended that we chant this mantra before chanting any chanting of Mahamantra, right? And why is that?
To invoke their mercy.
To invoke the mercy.
Of all offenses.
and also invoke the mercy, their mercy, because they reveal the holy name. And the second is that they protect us from offenses. Because Lord Chaitanya is most magnanimous incarnation, and is the most each approachable form of the Lord. So that's why we should take shelter of these great souls. You all know what they are representing, I believe. These first three, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, Acharya, they are Vishnu Tattvas, means the category of the Lord. Then we have Radharani, is like a Gadadhar, right? Shakti Tattva. And Shiva is representing Jiva, or Narada Muni, or your devoted Jiva Tattva. And Adi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, no? Means all devotees of Lord Chaitanya, which follows. Okay, so this is what we chant before the Maha Mantra. There is explanation of the Maha Mantra. And this will go quickly. Can you, Govinda Priya, just...
Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada once announced, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. One devotee then inquired whether we should therefore chant the rounds of the Panchatattva mantra, to which Srila Prabhupada replied, no, because Lord Chaitanya's instruction was to chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We mentioned that the Panchatattva Maha Mantra is more powerful than Maha Mantra. That's mentioned because the Lord is more accessible. Then the logic is behind it. Okay, why don't we chant Panchatattva Maha Mantra? But this is the answer. Lord Chaitanya wants from us to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So this is a short description of what it is. Toman, can you read?
Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is very simple mantra consisting of only 3 words, Hare Krishna and Rama. Hare means unto Mother Hara, i.e. Lord Krishna's personal pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani. Krishna means the all-attractive Lord. Rama means the source of all enjoyment.
Okay, one question here. Have you heard about what Rama also... Okay, for Hare is more or less clear. Krishna also for this Rama. Have you heard any explanation what this Rama means? Besides what means translation, but which person to refers? Hare means Radharani. Krishna means Krishna, Supreme.
Lord Balaram.
There is one explanation that this is Lord Balaram. What else? Never heard? No? You heard?
No.
There is this discussion what this Rama means. Okay, Lord Balaram is one answer. Rama is also who? Lord Ramachandra. Could be, right? It can be also Lord Parashuram. 3 different, right, personalities, at least 3 different personalities. But it depends on the line from where we get this mantra. So our line is Gaudiya Vaishnavism, right? Lord Chaitanya from Bengal, so Nadia. So it refers to Krishna in special form, which is called Radhika Raman. You heard about Radhika Raman? Radhika Raman is the Lord who loves Srimati Radharani. It's very intimate. So Gaudiya Vaishnavas refers to the Krishna who is beloved of Lord Srimati Radharani. That's in our Sampradaya means. Of course, when we have like a Balaram Jayanti, then we also can refer to him, but this is then depends on the rasa, depends on the mood of the. Yes.
Why is this related to Lord Parashuram?
Also the name of the Lord. Rama is also Parashuram, no? It's the same. They call it Rama.
Okay, because contains that Rama.
Yeah, this is the name of the, if you read Bhagavatam, this is the name which they use for Parashuram is Ram. We just read now 9th canto, right? Hey Ram, please help, because if you remember the story just recently, we read this, how Parashuram, killed the Kshatriyas and that, and when his father was killed, and mother called him, oh Ram, please help. You remember? You remember the story? In 9th canto? I remember. It's 9th canto.
Which chapter?
Hmm?
Which chapter?
About Parashuram, I don't know, recall from the mind, but yeah. So it's also there, the names of the Lord, and so that sampradayas, they interpret this mantra with that name. Okay, then we have translation. Nataka, what is the translation of Maha Mantra which Prabhupada gave?
When we chanting Hare Krishna, we are praying, O energy of the Lord Hare, O Lord Krishna and Rama, please engage me in your service.
Yes.
Maha mantra means it is the great mantra of deliverance.
So there are different perspectives what this mantra does. Okay, one of us that we is appeal to the, like translation of Prabhupada, appeal of the child, crying child for the mother, right? Is that please give me shelter, so relieve us from material anxiety. This is one, great mantra for deliverance, right? But this is not primary. Primary is to invoke the love. Not only love emotion, but also engage us in loving activities. This is the highest. In seva, we explained yesterday that the seva is activity which is done with proper intention, right? To please. In the way the beloved wants to be pleased, right?
So it's not any job, it's not just a job, seva. That's what we're talking about the language.
Yeah,
It's not just a job.
job means business exchange. I will do, but I want to something back. But bhakti means I do unconditionally, means without any expectation. My aim is just to please, not to please that I get something back. Then it's not pure bhakti. And we don't have the result of pure bhakti. So this is the original state of the soul is, when it's pure state, that he wants to please the Lord or beloved without consideration of what I will gain back. I will enjoy, I will be free of anxiety. There is a different motive. But this is the most pure. But we are not in that level. Of course, we can do, please relieve me this pain, right? Anxiety, please help me. We are not at that level. It's also proper that we ask devotees, the Lord for the help in this level which we suffer a lot, right? Okay, next.
Lord Chaitanya and the Vedas board recommend this process.
Together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Idi Shodashakam Nam Kali Kalmasanasanam Natah Paratarapaya Sarva Vedashu Drishate. This is Sanskrit, this is Purana, Upanishad actually.
These 16 words of the Hare Krishna mantra are
especially meant for counteracting
the
contaminating
influence of the age of Kali. After searching
through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a better method. So here is emphasized, this is the most powerful method for counteracting Kali, influence of Kali. And what is the most visible and description what Kali does? What is the quarrel and hypocrisy? Means You know, it's said that every atom in Kali Yuga is vibrating conflict. There will be conflict with no reason. So we have to consciously be aware that conflict will happen if we are not Krishna conscious, we are not spiritual, we don't in charge our spiritual vision properly. That's why it's so common, every disturbance, conflict is, whatever you put this like that, why you put like that, it's immediately. In Satya Yuga, there would be only harmony, no conflict. Whatever you do, it would be like, wow, you would judge, with harmonic way. You did so nicely like that. In Kali Yuga, said, why you did like that? No, you just do opposite. Is the nature of the Kali atmosphere. And the best method is chanting the holy name. The best. But how to chant is now the next topic, not next, but so here are also now the few. They are very powerful as glories or characteristics of the holy names. Maybe we just go very quickly through, but this is also for the home reading. Can you read 4 and then Domain 4, so we will try to go through to remind ourselves.
Krishna and his names are not different. The Lord's name has descended from Goloka. Invested with the Lord's spiritual potency, purifies the heart and mind.
Okay, so this is all the shlokas. Krishna and his name are non-different. So this is one shloka which glorifies the name. Abhinatva means that then the famous example is here water. Prabhupada uses this analogy with the water, right? In material world, water substance and the water name doesn't make you that your thirst disappear, right? If you're thirsty, you can say water for all day and you will not be, your thirst will not be quenched, right? So, but the holy name is different. Krishna and Krishna's name is the same person. The same qualities are in the name. It came from the Goloka. Hare Krishna Mahamantra in our age came from Goloka because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is from Goloka. In other Kali Yugas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which appears in Kali Yuga, is not from Goloka. You see the difference?
It's not the same Chaitanya.
It's Lord Chaitanya, but it's from Vaikuntha. Now it's from Goloka. That's why this Mahamantra in this age has special power meaning.
So he's not Krishna himself in the other Kali Yugas.
No, it's Vaikuntha. Vishnu avatars. Invested with the Lord's spiritual potency, this is the second shloka of Shastakam, and purifies the heart and the mind. Okay, Domin?
The chanting process is simple, sublime, and auspicious. Even a child can take part. Frees one from sinful reaction and material bondage. Chanting Rama gives the same result as chanting the 1,000 names of Vishnu. Chanting once Krishna has the same potency as 3 times the 1,000 times names of Vishnu.
Okay, here we heard this statement. It's bona fide now.
Nobody had time to read.
Okay, Nataka?
Also effective for someone who is not even aware of its potential.
Potency.
Yes.
This is why we go to the Harinams. That's why it's important that other also hear which doesn't understand. This is the special empowerment of the Mahamantra. Everyone has a benefit. Okay, next.
Chanting the benefit of the other Vedic tears
Rights.
rise to be chanting in the same as having performed all the Vedic process of
Purification. Yeah, so what it means that all the rituals which are in the Vedas, which are meant for purifying our existence, This is Panchakosha system, Anamaya in the level, body level, prana level, emotional level, intellectual level, and identity level. They are all these samskaras, right? What samskaras? They're meant to purify, our different levels or layers of our existence, and this is the most powerful. Contains all these different rituals are in the name, chanting the holy names. That's why we chant in the beginning of initiation, Om Apavitra Apavitra Va. You remember, it's usually the Guru's spiritual masters explain. The remembering Krishna and chanting His name is the most purifying agents, the most purifying agents, substance for purification. That's why, this is deity worship intermezzo. How we know about the achamans, right? We heard about achaman exists. And how this works technically. You have asked, why this achaman is so, all this different stuff, so difficult, Why? First step is you purify the water. How? You put the water and you look into the water, Om Keshavaya Namaha, and with this look into the water, the holy name goes to that water and purifies the water. And when you sip, goes into the body. So purifies spiritually and subtly. For example, when we take something, we eat for ourselves, we take prasadam, right? And when you worship the deities and you take something to eat, you have to do achaman. Why? And you didn't touch your lips. This is different. This is gross impurity. When you touch any hole of the body, you're contaminated, according to the deity worship, right? No, because all holes of the body, they according to Ayurveda, they have extractions. Something from the nose, it's going out. So these holes are like waste holes. So in that sense, when we touch, we are contaminated, because contamination travels by touch. By touch, right? If you touch, then that's why we don't eat or drink like touching the bottle, because contamination spreads whatever we touch. Make sense? Yeah. In that sense, if you try to. So when we take food, for example, and we don't touch ourselves, so we are not physically like dirty, but when we take something, we have to do achaman technically, if we are very strict. Why? Because we are taking something for ourselves. You understand? It was not for the pleasure for the Lord, but for ourselves. I want to taste. I want to. It's not for this, for Lord pleasure. So that's why we take achaman, small one, so we purify the consciousness. Make sense? So that's why how deity worship is constructed, because it purifies not just grossly but mentally and spiritually how you approach the Lord. Because we have, we are conditioned with the false ego. We are doing because I like to do that. We have these habits, and deity worships, tries to purify the habits.
It makes you more aware of your actions or what
exactly.
you're doing. I was amazed in the beginning when I realized. I was like, wow. Makes you so conscious of what are you doing all the time, to be so present, so focused. Wow.
So that's why it's said that without deity worship you cannot actually situate yourself in sattva guna. Because we are neglectful, right? We are neglectful of the Lord's presence, right? We are neglectful to the devotees. That's why the first things we have to be aware of the cleanliness. Because these habits, we do this, all these tamastic, we are not aware actually. That's why then, in the kitchen and there, someone, don't taste, don't. When something goes fall to the ground, usually just put in the mouth, right? Or we just, it's also contamination, no, because the bread is contaminated, no? For, the culture thinks it's normal, that you taste, when you cook, it's salty enough, but, and this is a completely different concept. And it's difficult for us because we are not used to. So for me it was quite, also is a process to understand, okay, this is not Sattva Guna, so it's a big gap, and Rajas and Tamas, so this is how to transform. That's why there are rules. But rules is the most dangerous if you don't understand them. Oh, why we do this, man, it's so heavy. No, but when someone says, oh, you invest the holy name in the water has be purified by the name. And the agent is the look, because you have to be attentive, right? And then you don't lick the hand above, you sip, that purifies, you don't touch, even the mouth doesn't touch the hand if you do properly. No, then it makes sense. And you're inspired to do because you understand, right? Otherwise, it's these rules.
And it's been even scientifically proven that water is very, very sensitive to vibration.
Exactly. So we have even materialistic science proves, not only the Vedic. No, so it's an interesting. So that's why the devotees should be in the deity worship should be very aware why this is, because usually when we don't have understanding, we just try.
You are like that.
Not doing the rule. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not so important. The expression, the emotion is important. It's important, of course it is, but when you are in Sattva Guna, it's perfect, but we are not. If you are doing out of laziness, out because we have these habits, it's so difficult to do. So it's usually that's why standards always goes down. It doesn't go up. For maintaining is a lot of struggle. Cold water, that, so many things. Just to maintain. But you want to add, it must be collective effort, really collective. Inspiration must be that you push, because we are in the material world, everything goes to the lowest energy. This is the entropy, right? Law, the physics, goes to the lower energy, tamas. We just live, everything goes in tamas, right? Dust, garbage, everything is just collecting, degrading, it decomposed, right? So that's why deity worship is like a revolutionary. That's why Brahminical standard means, when secularization is when you vow that you will maintain the Sattva Guna. You vow. And every Brahmana should be involved in deity worship. And it's very, very concerning. The devotees who have secularization doesn't go to the deity worship. So it's very not healthy sign. They should be eager to go. Yes, I can't wait because I have opportunity to rise in the Sattva Guna. But they don't understand. The Sattva Guna you cannot do automatically. It's hard because we are not born in Sattva Guna. We are not, our parents did some skaras, they did, very pious. We are in our genes is tamas parajas, which is very difficult to uproot. Impossible, actually. It's impossible. We cannot, karma is very strict law, right? That is the chart, the Jyotish. You are like that because you got from previous life. You cannot change, usually. And in devotional service, can change. But we have to be aware, we have to follow, really, how to say, so that's why surrender is so important, to surrender to a spiritual well-wisher. Because that's only way how this can be transformed. There's no other way. It's not, I will be strict, our strictness is hiki-riki, it's just this. So that's why the mercy and gratitude is there. So these are the elements that attracts Lord mercy, which, because it's His energy, Devi Esha Gunamayi, He can remove the influence of His energy. No other. We cannot move, the energy of the Lord. Who are we? Right? But we are not aware of power and the mechanism how this works. Anyway, it's a little side point, but just to see the depth of philosophy and the knowledge which comes. Okay, we have 5 minutes more. Okay, let's continue with the. You can read 2 more, Natika. The means in this age.
The means in this age for attaining pure love of God, Krishna Prema.
Okay, this is how we get it. Next one.
Protect you from Maya and fall downs.
So if you properly chanting, that protects us from the fall down. Next one, please. Purifies
the whole atmosphere.
So when we have like a one experience is when we go to Harinam, right? If you can be in Harinam 2 hours, there is almost guarantee you will transform the consciousness. I mean, unless you really sleep or you really, but even then you have, because you're in the association with what is chanting, it's like a shower, mental shower usually, right? And when we have the strong kirtans, Harinam kirtan in the temple of religious atmosphere is like, right? It's
when it's not very loud, the sound.
When there is also some distraction on that field, yes. Yeah. Usually, I will say. Okay, going to Priya, can you continue?
It's the same results as the processes of previous yugas.
We understand this? We understand this? So the same result is achieved as we would do yagyas, as we would do deep worship and Ashtanga yoga, exactly. Yeah.
Elevates one even from a low background. The only possible process in this age, everything else is too difficult to execute. Bhagavad Gita 8:11 purport, last paragraph. Chanters are most attractive to Krishna. All the Vedic knowledge is contained within the Maha Mantra. The essence of the Vedas is to chant, and by chanting one realizes the meaning of the Vedas. The ultimate means to attain the ultimate success.
So here is all the knowledge is contained within Mahamantra. Jiva Jivanam in the Shakshtam, right? Is the source, how is in the translation of Shakshtam one? Is the life of all knowledge. It means that by chanting we will understand things. More we chant purely, more we will understand Bhagavad Gita. Everything else will be revealed. So this is also the means. So that's why those who doesn't chant will not be able to understand the subtleties of Krishna consciousness and philosophy, or we chant not properly. Okay, this is the last page which we'll go through. Is the Vedic verses glorifying of the holy names. You can, Domin?
By once chanting the holy names of the Lord, which consist of the 2 syllables Hari, one guarantees his path to liberation, Skanda Purana. Simply by chanting one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reaction to more sins than he is able to commit, Brihad Vishnu Purana. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reactions of his sinful life depart. Just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear, Garuda Purana. Refer also to the story of Ajamila and the story of Yavana, Harama.
Do you know what is Harama?
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Yeah, it's in Islam they have this, they say haram if it's forbidden or something, if it's like for pigs usually they say, and this Ajamil was, I think he was, wild boar attacked him and stabbed him with his horns or whatever.
Is something similar when we are saying muchi or not?
No, Harama is an example of what?
It's like chanting. What's this called? The middle position of chanting.
Namabas, okay.
Namabas, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because he said haram, and that's forbidden, you know, because pig attacked him, and then he went back to Godhead because he said haram.
So the point is that you chant the words which contains the names, Lord's names, right? Haram means, I think the gnusna, right?
Sorry?
The gnusna in English.
I'm not sure of the translation of haram.
Yeah, I think it's like awful or disgusting, something like that. So one person chanted this because was attacked by the boar, right? And because he chanted this, unknowingly he chanted the whole Lord's names, and he was liberated. Ajimila also like that, no? And also that's why we have some names in Slovenian also. Rama is like, you know, is the shoulder. Panorama is like something which people chant without knowing that they're chanting the holy name. It still works. That's the point. It still works even if they don't understand.
The best ones are on the streets, you know, who are very angry and say, "Oh, you Hare Krishna, I hate you guys." You know, they say Hare Krishna, so Jai.
Yes, this is the category I understand. But can you read one more and then Natika?
Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dvapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.52.
So this is the glory in the Bhagavatam. Okay, Natika, can you read?
To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons, to see the Supreme Person face of the face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes
eligible
to perform Vedic
sacrifices
sacrifice if he
once utters
the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him. Hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances or even remembers him.
But not only the person who only sees the Lord in face to face, but anyone who chants the holy name, all the sacrifice was performed by that person. That's the summary of this. Gudapriya?
My dear Narada, actually I do not reside in my abode, Vaikuntha, nor do I reside within the hearts of the yogis, but I reside in that place where my pure devotees chant my holy name and discuss my form, pastimes and qualities, Padma Purana.
So you have these 4 types of kirtan, right? Chanting holy name, form, pastimes.
O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.11.
Tomen, last 2.
Those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened persons worship Kali Yuga because in this fallen age all perfections of life can easily be achieved by the performance of Sankirtan.
And the last one for the first canto.
Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately even by unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified.
Okay, this was only a drop of the glories of the holy name which are here. So it's good to remember them whenever we are, become apathic. So, why? So that we have become motivated. Why these glories which are here stated doesn't manifest in my life Right? Why I'm not liberated only by one name only? Why I'm not purified? Why I'm still have these anarthas, 6 enemies of the mind: lust, greed, anger, illusion, madness, and pride. Why is there? Still there. Why I'm so angry all the time, or not so happy? So this refers to the other topic which will be discussed tomorrow afternoon, probably, because if possible, Krishna willing.
This glories about the holy name, I using this in preaching, when I meet some Christians, people with Christian background, people are relating when I'm explaining them that in the Bible it's also in the beginning. At the beginning it was, the Lord, and He was the name, and He was the Word actually, the Son, the Word, and He was actually,
Yeah, every tradition has this. Every tradition has the glorious.
And then people are more they understand better this mantra things, these names.
Yeah, there are two meanings. Yeah, two purposes of this glorification. One is that we try to apply, and the second that we carry out to other people. Because one of the glory is that it works without even understand. If that wouldn't be there, we wouldn't go out. Why we would go out if people understand? Huh? Usually, so this is usually a complaint. Why are you going out? No one understands. And we go even out. We are so, for example, how we look, how we are performing, like technically. We are not expert musicians. Like we're not midanga players. We're not. It's like we are not very harmoniously. But still we go out. In spite of these, pitfalls, in spite of that, we go out. Because the name is so powerful. If that power would be, it would be waste of time, but it's not waste of time. So in spite that we are not so well, like in the Jumna Swami, Harinam party, which is very beautiful, Vaishnava is dancing, this is also to attract from other features that people can maybe be more attentive to the holy name. So we want to do like that is as perfectly as possible. I spoke with Hari Bhakti, how he envisioned that, with such a capacity of chant, technically performing, how that would be attractive for the people, no? One, sings very nicely, that everyone is attracted even by sound, not even the holy name, but if holy name is there, even more powerful, of course. How that would look, or how it looked like Lord Chaitanya sang. How was that? No, that melody, and everyone was melted. They become mad after the Lord. What kind of chanting was that? What kind of the quality? What kind of the power was there? No. So this is all what is waiting for us to witness. No, right? You're witnessing already some drops of the shadow. It's not even the holy name is the shadow, because you're not chanting purely. It's giving some happiness for us and the people. But when this becomes more pure and more pure, it will be madness. It said it will be madness. People will go mad. We will go mad, hopefully one day. Out of the holy name, of course, not madness out of other things. So, any last comment on this? Does this make any sense? And you also read in your free time, you will be more conscious of these amazing qualities. So tomorrow we'll do 3 levels of chanting, and especially I will do a little from the book of Sachinandra Maharaj. Maybe you can also share from the retreat, if you're also discussing about the result of Navabhas, second level. You mentioned something about this. Remember?
No, Navabhas I don't think he covered.
So he did mention the first level is chanting with offenses. he did mention that the second is that we try to avoid offenses is such a high level already, and the pure name is, of course, is far up there.
No, he was not so technical. His approach is a bit different. He approached it more.
So what was the aim? Was the aim to be more aware of the chanting, attention? What was the or the mood of the chanting? What was the primary aim of what you get? What you got? What was the most powerful impression from the retreat regarding the holy name? Your personally, it doesn't need to be the same for other. If you had any impression. Yes. Yeah, with the holy name. Yeah. Connected with the holy name, exactly. Relationship with the holy name, or experience with the holy name, or.
Ja, v bistvu tako nam je tako približal to sveto ime, v bistvu tudi kako se povezati z njim.
So connection with the holy name.
V bistvu pač čas biti prisoten, in dejansko se predati, imeti pogovor z njim. In seveda tudi, če nas kaj zmoti, da ne rabimo o tem razmišljati, ampak samo prej nadaljevati. Pa seveda ta pozicija, kako jaz gledam na to, da je prav, da dam nek rezime si čez dan, kako sem mantrala, ki lahko še popravim, lahko tudi podelim z nekom to, kako jutri biti še boljša.
Contemplation, that's the second level. We hear about holy name and then we try how to improve, how to apply.
This helped me in the second canto. Prahlad Maharaj is saying a few things that helped me with this chanting. Starting from then, I'm not chanting like 16 rounds in 1 hour, like something. It takes me like maybe 2 hours.
Pa še nekaj, kar je povedal, da moramo biti zelo pošteni do sebe, tako, da imamo vsak svoje levle, oceno, kje sem jaz pri tem chantingu, koliko sem zdaj, in tudi res, v bistvu, da se zavedati tega, izboljšati si, in v bistvu, da ne postane tudi avtomatizem to. 16 jih bomo odplenkal, 16 jih moramo narediti, ampak dejansko se reče stari izraz na petki, od 1 do 10, na petki sem pojačati, brati, se pogovarjati o tem, dobiti znanje o samem mantranju in nadaljevati. Ne pa spodbujati drug drugega, meni to kako se ti razumeti od našega vodeva.
I understood. I mean, he approached this retreat like more psychologically, not so much technically. I think he's also a psychologist or something. And he more on this relationship. He was spending a lot of time on that, like to form a relationship with the holy name, and also this spiritual selfishness. I remember vividly. He was saying that we have to take care of ourselves, and then we can also feel the holy name and hear it, and relate to it, and he touched like all the background problems that we have in subconsciousness or whatever, that how this is preventing us to chant better, because we all have some anartha, some subconsciousness that we don't problems from past lives or past even this life. And we were talking about this, how to resolve this stuff, and that will in turn help us chant better and stuff like this. It was for me it was psychological kind of stuff. But of course, Bhakti.
So you're speaking about how many things distract our attention to the holy name, like the previous traumas or impressions. They prevent that we are attentive to the holy name. That connection?
Because we view it as more important than chanting actually. And then we can't do rounds in the morning or something, or we say, we'll do it later. But I gotta do this seva for other devotees, because I'm so selfless. I do this, but no, you can do something. You can be spiritually filled if you change around the time, then you can do other things.
Okay.
Kako se tudi počutim, ker zjutraj mantra, probati biti čist osredotočen. V bistvu, kaj mi Krišna da, ker to je res najintimen trenutek, dejt. Kaj imam jaz od tega, potem mi dal tudi primere, tudi ko si šel sam na nek zmenek. Mi moramo tudi razumeti, da je to res živo bitje, da je to zmenek in kaj si dava drugemu, da si tudi zapisujemo, kaj si dava. Kaj mi to pomeni, kaj mi tudi za čez dan to pomeni.
Very nice.
Da se tudi opazim, če nisem dobro mantrala, jaz opazim, da potem tudi, vprašam se, če potem nam dan tudi dobro poteka. Da se prvo vprašamo, če ne gre, kje je.
Prabhupada, I don't know if you read here, the Prabhupada said that 99% of our spiritual advancement depends on the chanting the holy name. This is really heavy statement. Heavy in the sense, if this is really like that, should invest really deep, contemplation and endeavor and effort to improve our chanting. Because if this is the main thing, then.
In tudi reče, ko si ti na dejcu, ko je ljubljena osebe, rekel, da te probati to se oživeti, potem si samo z njim, seveda te zašejka med krogi, tudi pa danes naredila še koga moram poklicati kaj, ampak da bodi spoštljiv do tega, ker če ga imaš res rad, bodi čist v njem. In rekel, poti kar vračaj, ker čutaš vibracijo, da ti vrača. Če ti samo par krogov to uspe, ali pa dva.
On this inspiring note, we'll finish this session.
Imamo kakšno homework?
You can just what?
You have time for more.
No, I'm sorry.
This is the 10 offenses. This is the 10 offenses. Try to go through them because tomorrow we'll try. Just repeat. Who will do a recap for tomorrow? Can we
do the 10 offenses?
Yes. What we did here today? 5 minutes only. Because also here we learn to speak a little bit about, Yes. Yes. No. You can do both. 5 minutes, no problem. It's no problem because it's important. Express ourselves, no problem. Who will chant? Jai Radha Madhava.
Okay.
And you can do Jai Dhvani, huh?
I can try.
Jai Dhvani, Jai Om. Just you can read, no problem. But just there's not need to remember. It's on that small Pesmaritsa songbook, no? You find something. Okay, Srila Prabhupada.